Good afternoon, guys. Just wanted to jump online and launch a new series of interviews that I want to start doing. It's called Trailblazers, and this particular series is going to be all about our brothers out there in the community that have done it, been through their own tough times, and have come up out the other side a stronger, and that they're now doing things in the community to help other men. So I'm having Jason McGrice from the Meditation House jumping on today. I'll see if I can get him online. Yep, just adding him now. Popping up in a second. Hopefully that all goes through. Yeah, but the purpose and the intention of these chats is really just to show our other brothers that are out there at the moment that we all do it tough at sometimes, and that we go through these things, and that we all have our low times. There's definitely a way through to get through the other side. Hey, Jace, how are you, man?
Hey Greg, good man
Hey,
yourself.
buddy. Yeah, good, thanks, man. I'm just quickly chatting through a bit of intentions behind our chat today. So I'll just keep chatting if that's all right for the moment, man.
Go ahead, please.
Thanks, man. So yeah, the second intention is that just to show these guys that there is a way through. Sometimes I know when it's these low states in our life that we're like, what's going on? Like sometimes it can be a little bit hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel, but that in that mindset, there's definitely a way through. There's definitely a way up and out and to higher things. And the other intention is to realize that we can rise out stronger from these events. That sometimes they're such blessings for us because they make us realize who we're not, so we can realize who we are. And then the fourth intention is really just to connect the guys that are going through a bit of a tough time at the moment with other guys that have done the journey, the heart-centered men that have done the journey, and they're now putting amazing services out into the community to help people that have been through the journey that they've been on. So grateful to have Jason online today with us, and that he's come forward really raw and authentic, and that he's willing to sort of share his story with us. So that's so great. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, no worries, my pleasure.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, if you don't mind, man, I just really like to find out. I already know myself personally. Me and Jason are really good mates, but just if you could share with the listeners, just sort of where you've come from, maybe where you are now, and where you're going, if that's not too much.
Yeah, absolutely, that's cool. So I guess my heart-centered journey started maybe all the way back when I was about 15. So my mum took me off to a Reiki course, and I did a children's Reiki 1 and 2. So
Yep.
that sort of started me on a spiritual energetic journey. And for the next few years, I was starting to experiment and just get to know what that energy even meant. At about 19, when I was smoking a lot of weed, I was living away from home, and we just had the world in a rural town was just we could do whatever we wanted. So we were smoking a lot of weed, and that led to a humongous amount of anxiety after a few years of smoking, and that took me down quite a drastic spiral for about 2 or 3 years. My early 20s was just riddled with anxiety. I felt like every second of every moment of every day, I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. And, I was just having constant panic attacks, and I really didn't understand what I was going through for quite some time. I went to doctors, naturopaths, and where I landed was at a meditation class. And that meditation class became a staple of my weeks for just every single Monday night. I would rock up to that class, and that would be an anchor for me. First of all, it was very, very hard to sit with myself in that stillness, and to even explore the subtleties of my anxiety, because it was always coming out, and to dive deeper through my breath, and uncover why this anxiety was even there. So that meditation class, I continued for years doing that, and I revisited Reiki as an adult, doing Reiki 1 and 2 again, and then I did a spiritual healers course in Uluru back in 2008, and that's those teachings from that course and from Reiki, and all of the fundamentals of energy work, they really formed a very solid foundation for I guess, the rest of my 20s, and allowed me a space to rise through that anxiety. Yeah, it was not it wasn't an easy path to go down. Of course, there's other ways with different medicines and what have you to pull you through the anxiety, especially when you're in the depths and what have you. But yeah, I guess getting to know myself on a far deeper level through that meditation, and also coupling that with spiritual healing and Reiki, that was able to pull me out of that anxious state. And I look back now, and some of those days were some of the hardest times of my life by far. Very confusing. I felt very alone, and for so long I didn't even know that other people experienced anything like I experienced, until I met one of my best friends at one of those meditation classes. So and she was going through exactly the same thing as I was going through. So what I pulled from that is we're so not alone. And I still meet people today with anxiety who still feel that they're alone, and they don't even know that people are out there going through the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
yeah,
so important that
finding that community. Yeah, absolutely. So I know this is a long story, but furthermore from there, because meditation changed my life so dramatically and pulled me from that space, it was like it was a savior to me. So I felt there was no other way for me to go apart from start to run meditation classes, and deeply, or help people be impacted the way I was impacted back in that time. So through my late 20s, starting to run meditation classes, seeing Reiki clients, spiritual healing clients, and then just building up, to working around at many different studios, Pilates studios, yoga studios, different wellness studios around Adelaide. And yeah, I guess that brings me to around about now.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Thanks so much for sharing that all with us. So just
Hey, no worries.
to cycle back a little bit, man, when you were going through those hard times, did you find you had people that you could reach out to and chat to as well? Or?
Yes. Yeah, it was potentially few and far between a little bit. But that friend of mine, Naomi, she was someone who I would call in the midst of a panic attack. She was always there to answer my call and be there for a support. Even sometimes those calls weren't exactly convenient times or anything, because anxiety isn't convenient whatsoever. So I feel like having a support person that is maybe going through or has been through a similar thing. It's really hard to explain what anxiety is without having been through it. Yeah, it's just such a different mental, emotional, physical, spiritual experience. It's really horrible.
Yeah, it can be so debilitating, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's so powerful, just like I was saying in the introduction, when we've been through things like this, because we can really have an understanding for where others are at, and thus really be able to sit with them in that space, and maybe have a few tips and tricks that we've learned along the way that might be able to help them through as well. So it's just so powerful to hear that you've done that journey and you've found so much benefit in yourself, and you're able to now give back to the community with that same thing with those same gifts that you've been gifted with along the way. So just sharing all the love.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thanks,
good,
man.
buddy. Yeah. So just can we dive into a little bit? Yeah. What are you sort of up to presently, and where do you see sort of the future holding for yourself with your journey?
Yes, certainly. So I've recently taken a break from teaching in-person classes, and also taking a break of seeing clients one-on-one. So that was something that was happening for quite a few years around Adelaide, and just having a bit of a break, taking a bit of a breath for myself, getting my routine really solid, because I got into a bit of a trap, perhaps, that I was helping all these other people and servicing all these other people with their energy work. and myself. You know, it's a bit of a weird cycle. I wasn't in a space where I was really putting myself first. And you know, like anything in any job or in any service-based industry, if you're not looking after yourself, if you're not putting yourself number one, yeah, you're just not going to be able to give the best version of yourself out there. So having a bit of a break in terms of what I'm actually doing right now, you know, you can I'm putting different meditations up on Insight Timer, so you can catch me on that meditation app. Many of you may know the meditation on their morning ritual. It's been a very popular track on there. And also working with One Giant Mind, another meditation app. I'm their program liaison, so I'm helping all of the students who are coming through their training academy, so to become a certified One Giant Mind teacher, and helping all of those guys, come through that program. So yeah, that's been really cool, and you know, I can do it from anywhere in the world, so it's quite amazing.
Yeah, it's so amazing, these services that we have available to us these days, that Jason Adelaide can sit here and help people all around the world through uploading meditations. And yeah, it's awesome times, really. Yeah, just the ability that we can use the technologies to connect in such a way. Yeah, if used correctly, of course.
Powerful.
Yeah. So good, buddy.
Definitely.
So I think I already know the answer to this one, but yeah, when you were going through your journey, what was sort of the one thing that you would suggest, that you found useful for yourself and that you would recommend for others?
Yeah, well, of course, definitely meditation. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. Meditation, and then also, you know, I know it's not the highlight of my story, but really, spiritual healing and Reiki, seeing those practitioners in the depth of the darkness. You know, I would ring up my Reiki master, and you know, at the drop of a hat, I would ring her up and say, "Are you able to get me in today? I need to see you." And you know, she would either shift around appointments, or you know, just have a spot divinely, of course, open, and I could go and see her. So yeah, they helped me beyond belief. So you know, the meditation is like a beautiful maintenance, and it really it just prepares you so much more for your eyes open experience, as opposed to your eyes closed experience when you're actually meditating in the zone.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the Reiki and the spiritual healing, that was just profoundly healing, supportive, and just so deeply healing.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. Yeah, I like to think of the meditation as almost being like a training session for the real world. Like it's like going into the gym and lifting weights. You're building up that muscle, that discipline to be able to come back to your center and to just observe thoughts rather than reacting. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
powerful. Thanks so much for jumping online today, man. Just to finish up, how can people get in touch with you, man, if they want to find out more about, you know, the gifts that you're putting out into the world, and everything about what you're doing at the meditation house over there?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess first and foremost, you can either catch me on Instagram at the Meditation House, also on Facebook at the Medi House. Where else? JasonMcGrice.com. Not Jason. Wow. themeditationhouse.com.au. Yeah, that's probably the main three spaces where I sort of frequent. So in terms of another couple of things I'm doing pretty soon, you know, you were helping me host the group healing session Balance that we ran on the spring equinox, and those sort of events are something that would like to continue moving forward. It was such a powerful event, having 5 therapists all working under some beautiful acoustic singing, and doing yoga and healing, and that was just such an amazing event. So I really want to connect with people doing more of that work. It's just so powerful. So they're probably the main few ways that you can connect with me, especially Insight Timer. Like, jump on there and have a listen, because that's going to start your meditation journey off nice and smoothly and quickly.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man. Thank you so much, man, for jumping on and just being so raw and vulnerable. And yeah, that's part of this journey as guys, just learning to open up and showing that it's okay to chat about this stuff, because it's the important stuff that makes us happy and well, and allows us to be able to show up first and foremost for ourselves, but then to be able to show up for our loved ones and really just live a valuable, loving, full life. So thanks so much, man, for being a
Absolutely.
trailblazer and just being so open and vulnerable, man. It's much appreciated.
Hey, my pleasure. It's all good. Perfect. Thank you so
All
much for
good,
having
man.
me on.
My pleasure, man. All the best, and we'll catch up real soon.
See you on the weekend.
Yeah, see you on the weekend, brother. See you later.
See you, bro.
Have a good one. Bye.